NTV at 1 starts right now on this Saturday, the first day of July 2023. Happy New Month. I hope that you are enjoying your day so far. My name is Ibrahim Karanja, and for the next 30 minutes, we shall be taking you across the country and also beyond our borders and to the sporting fields to tell you what is happening on all these fronts. Let's get started. Now, the death toll in the Londiani Junction road accident has risen to 51 after 2 more bodies were retrieved from under the wreckage of the trailer. A total of 9 vehicles were involved in the accident, including a truck that lost control and rammed into private vehicles and at least 4 matatus. The injured are currently recuperating in various hospitals in Kericho and Nakuru counties. Rose Wangoi has the details.
The Friday 7 p.m. evening accident involved a truck that was traveling from Nakuru towards Kericho that lost control, rammed into several matatus, private vehicles and motorcycles before landing in a ditch. The truck also crashed into hawkers selling roasted maize, vegetables, cabbages and oranges by the roadside. According to Kericho County Health Executive, a total of 51 bodies have been received at the Kericho County Hospital and Londiani Sub-County Hospital mortuaries as of Saturday morning. Several Nissan matatus were damaged beyond recognition during the evening accident.
Tunafanya uchunguzi, hatuwezi kujua haswa kitu gani kilitokea kwa sababu kuna ripoti tofauti na iwapo baada ya uchunguzi basi hatua ambazo zinatakana zitachukuliwa.
County government ya Kericho inunue shamba hapa junction ili watu waondoke kwa barabara. Kwa sababu hili janga limetababishwa kwa sababu ya watu kuuzia kwa barabara. Bams iwekwa kuanzia kule Jubat. Kwa sababu kama ingewekwa kule Jubat, huyu dereva angeangusha gari kule juu. Angekuja kuua watu hapa.
Heavy rains hindered rescue operations which were being carried out by the police and Kenya Red Cross volunteers. More than 60 people were rushed to different hospitals in Londiani, Kericho and Nakuru where they are currently receiving treatment. Authorities have commenced a search for the driver of the truck. Transport CS Kipchumba Murkomen, who visited the scene of the accident, said the truck involved in the accident was not locally owned and is registered in Rwanda.
This is huge and very painful to imagine. Remember that this is a transit vehicle. It is assumed that it was going to Rwanda, and so the facts about this vehicle will not only end with the data we collected on our roads, but also we will need support of the neighboring country to give us more information about the status of this vehicle.
The number of casualties could be more because most of those taken to the hospital were in serious condition. Rozongwe, NTV.
Very sad news coming from Kericho County from that accident last night, and we stay on that story where NTV's Ouko Okusa is right now in Kericho County just following up on what is happening. Lots of families right now in somber mood, very many other people injured. Okusa, good afternoon to you. Not a very good afternoon coming from Kericho County. We saw the CS early in the morning at the scene of the accident, but right now I believe families must be, coming to terms with what happened last evening. What do you have to tell us, Okusa? Again, take the question. What are the people of Kericho saying? What are the families saying? I believe it's such a somber mood for the families right now. So, Okusa, what is the situation like right now?
Well, Ibrahim, the situation actually, as you mentioned there, is that of it's a somber mood kind of. A lot of families have gathered here at the Kericho County Referral Hospital where we are right now. Remember, a total of 19 casualties from this accident were rushed here, and unfortunately 2 succumbed while receiving treatment. That happened early this morning. And of course, there are a lot of families that have still thronging in here just to find out how their relatives are doing. A lot of them, we've come to realize, are actually women, and according to the medical staff here, is that most of the people who are involved in this accident sustained injuries on the lower limbs. So there's a lot of amputation of the lower limbs that have occurred here at the hospital, and of course that has left most of the survivors in pain, in a lot of pain. We managed to meet a man who lost his mother and is looking after the wife who is struggling or is fighting for her life in one of the wards here. And of course, again, we're made to understand that there were a total of 15 children who are also involved in this accident and perished, actually. We are also again made to understand that out of the 14 casualties or survivors who were taken to Nakuru Level 5 Hospital, one succumbed just like an hour ago, and of course now that brings the total number of those who have died so far to 52. Again, maybe just to bring you up to speed, is that a total of 33 people are said to have sustained injuries in the accident, and of course they are receiving treatment in various hospitals. We are in Kericho County and of course in Nakuru, as I've mentioned there. We are yet to find out or to establish the fate of the driver of the ill-fated truck, and if there were any other occupants in that particular trailer at the time of the accident. We managed to speak with the commander here, but he says even them, they are yet to establish whether they perished or they are some of the survivors. According to the governor of Kericho County, that is Eric Mutai, 10 bodies have positively been identified. Remember, all the 49 bodies that were recovered from the scene were taken to Londiani Hospital. That is where majority of the bodies are, and he says that they have managed to identify 10, but there is a challenge because most of the bodies there are badly mutilated, they're dismembered, and therefore it's becoming a little difficult to identify them at the speed that maybe some of the relatives here would want, and therefore they are just asking for patience from the affected families to give them time just to go through that process. Again, we're made to understand that there could be a mass that is being organized by the county government here that will happen in a couple of days' time. Again, the governor also mentioned that they will be waiving fees for those who have been affected, and of course the hospital fees, that is, and the mortuary fees. So those are basically some of the updates that we'll give at this particular moment. Of course, we are still out here gathering more. Of course, there's no more search of bodies at the scene. We were there in the morning in Londiani, and rescuers are confident that all those who must have been involved in this accident have been already moved to various facilities for treatment. And of course, those who unfortunately perished have been moved to the mortuaries. Back to you, Ibrahim.
Well, Oko Okusa there, coming to us live from Kericho County, of course, with an update on that particular accident that happened last night. Very terrible news. Okusa adding that the numbers now at 52 after one more person died in Nakuru. But many other people who right now have been injured and in hospitals, and lots of amputation. From that update from Oko Okusa, we pray that those who are injured to have a quick recovery, and we also pray that the numbers don't go beyond what they are. It is very sad as is already. But moving on, tension is high along the border of West Pokot and Turkana counties after 4 people were shot dead by suspected bandits from one of the counties. Security officers have been deployed in the area to contain the situation.
Tension has engulfed Chepkarerat village at Ramos area along the border of West Pokot and Turkana counties. It all started on Friday morning with a fierce fire exchange between 2 criminal groups. It is here that bandits killed 2 people before dashing into the thicket. That evening, villagers say the bandits came back, attacked and killed another 2 people who were mining gold in the Romeo area.
Naomba security personnel wakiongozwa na county commandant ya Pokot, county commandant ya Turkana waweke vigilance katika area hizo ambazo watu ambao wanasafiri pasipo kuhusika na chochote wanauawa pasipo sababu.
This latest attack comes a day after bandits killed a traveler at KWS area in Kainuk, just a day after 40 goats were stolen from Ombolion area. Security officers have been deployed in the area and search for the attackers is ongoing.
Tumepewa na serikali kuu ya kwamba watatusaidia kitengo fulani cha hela kuhakikisha kwamba barabara katika sehemu ambazo ni ngumu kufikiwa, sehemu ambapo inakisiwa ya kwamba kuna wakora ambao wamejificha, itengenezwe. Barabara ambayo security team wata access bila matatizo.
More than 70 people have been killed in the Kerio Valley region since the year began. Vincent Odur, NTV.
Moving on, the National Assembly's Finance and Economic Planning Committee Chair Kuria Kimani has faulted the move by the High Court, temporarily halting the implementation of the Finance Act 2023 as sought by Busia Senator Okia Omtata. The Molo Member of Parliament has taken issue with some of the claims listed by Omtata in the court documents. In particular, Kimani has stated that far from Omtata's claim that the finance bill ought to have been discussed in the Senate, the bill in history has only been discussed at the National Assembly. Kimani has further scoffed at Omtata's assertions that some of the sections amended are county functions like the Housing Fund, and thus the National Assembly was overstepping its mandate. Lady Justice Mugure Thande yesterday issued conservatory orders against the implementation of the Act until the case challenging its legality comes up for further directions next week.
We saw this coming and we were ready. So see in court, we have all the documents necessary. We have, even at the committee stage, leave alone even at the National Assembly stage of, or as the Kenya Kwanza government, even the Committee of Finance and National Planning had to study all the court rulings that were delivered in the last 5 years. Because Finance Act has always been the most litigated pieces of legislation. And there is no time for the last 10 years that Finance Act has never been taken to court. It has always been litigated. So we saw this coming and you're ready. So see in court, we have never ever had a finance bill being debated at the Senate. It has never happened. So it would be curious how this would be the first time, more than 10 years after the creation of the Constitution, and we have had all these finance acts, having the finance bill now for the first time ever in the history of new constitutional dispensation going to the Senate. And I think that is why, in the wisdom of both speakers, they looked at the contents of the bill and they concurred that the finance bill of 2020 did not have to go to the Senate when health is a devolved function. So there is nothing that stops collaboration between national government and county government in terms of execution of roles that are either belongs to the national government or from the county governments. And actually, as we speak, we have 42 counties across the country that have actually signed a memorandum of understanding between themselves and the State Department of Housing, the county governments giving land to national government.
Well, just an update on that particular story is that there is actually a second injunction on the Finance Act, and this is in a case filed by Peter Odhiambo Agoro against versus the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Planning, the National Assembly, and 2 others. And that was also issued yesterday by Justice Mugure Thande. So as is 2 injunctions or 2 conservatory orders against the implementation of the Finance Act 2023. But let's look at some of the proposals that were affected by that particular court order, because these were the proposals in the Finance Act. The Finance Act 2023 proposed doubling of the VAT on petroleum products, the VAT coming from 8% to 16%. That was supposed to be effective from the 1st of July, that is today. And it also proposed the deduction of housing levy of about 1.5% of one's salary, one's gross pay. And that was also to be effective 1st of July 2023. That would have meant that by the end of the month, your pay slip would have reflected that particular deduction of 1.5% for housing levy. And just to also let you know that owing to that particular proposal to increase fuel VAT from 8% to 16%, new fuel prices were reviewed, and right now a litre of super petrol was increased up with 13 shillings and 49 cents, and it now goes for 195.53 shillings. And diesel was added to some extra 12 shillings and 39 cents, and right now at the pumps diesel sells at 179 shillings and 67 cents, while kerosene had an addition of 11 shillings 0.96. And right now at the fuel pumps, this is according to EPRA, kerosene goes for 173 shillings 0.44. Those are the proposals that were in the Finance Act of 2023 and now halted by the courts. Now in Mandera, petrol goes for a litre of petrol goes for 210 shillings, while diesel goes for 194 shillings 0.75, while kerosene goes for 188.48 shillings. That again is according to the EPRA, which announced the new prices yesterday despite that particular court order. And moving on, Busia Senator Okiya Omtata has warned the state against defying the court order. Omtata says he will go after any institution, individual or agency that acts contrary to the order, halting the implementation of the Finance Bill 2023. Another conservatory order has been issued this morning.
The second order, the court says, thou shalt not do anything about that bill. Impose it on Kenyans. So for that one will be an order EPRA would need to take seriously. Because if they don't, then we shall be after them. They have ample knowledge that the court has issued orders. It is in the media. It's all over. So and so it will have no defense against that order. So I hope that the court, the EPRA, will obey that order.
Now, still on a story tied to that, let's now cross over to the pumps and see how much fuel goes at. And our colleague Martin Mwangi is right here in Nairobi, just having an eye on how much it costs for you to buy a litre of petrol, a litre of diesel, and a litre of kerosene. Martin, good afternoon to you. There was that court order that issued an injunction to the implementation of the Finance Act, yet we hear that at the pumps, the prices have since been implemented as proposed by EPRA. Is that so?
Yes, Ibrahim, that is true, and I'm just outside one of the petrol stations in Nairobi city center, and as you can see behind me, if my camera person could just show you, a litre of premium petrol goes for 195 shillings 0.5 cents, almost the 200 shillings mark, and diesel, a litre of diesel goes for 179 shillings and 67 cents. Almost, it has been increased by 12 shillings and around 39 cents. And as I have with me some bodaboda riders, and maybe they can tell us, what do you feel about this? Kwa majina yako, utuambie majina yako na unaona hii increase ya petrol itakuwa affect vipi?
Kwa majina anajulikana kama Mchwenge Henry, chairman wa bodaboda hapa Ajib. Hii increase ya mafuta kwanza itafanya mapato yetu iende chini, na vile vile tutapoteza wateja, kwa sababu mtu ataprefer kufanya mambo mengine ama pesa ziende kwa matumizi mengine badala ya kuzileta kwa matumizi ya usafiri, sababu sisi unajua sisi ni wale last mile. So sisi ni mtu ametoka mbali anakuja sasa hizi short distance kumuingiza kwa ofisi nini. Unajua mtu ataprefer atoke kwa nyumba mapema akuja ingia kwa ofisi, kwa sababu gharama ya maisha imeenda juu, na mafuta ikienda juu hivyo tunajua kila kitu itaenda juu for now. Si mafuta peke yake. So tunaona kama hii kitu itakuwa na a lot of effect, na si vizuri pande yetu. Tulikuwa nalilia tu hao waheshimiwa wetu, at least wakati wanapitisha miswada huko bungeni wanajaribu kuangalia mwananchi wa kawaida ambaye amemchagua. So si tumechagua wabunge waenda wakatutetee, sio waenda wakaweke bei ya vitu kukua juu, na mwisho unapata sisi tunaendelea kuishi kwa umaskini. na najua wengine wanataka maybe tufinyiliwe zaidi ndio maybe tuendelee kuwapigia kura. Wakati kama huo ulipita, sasa ni wakati ambao mtu anafaa kufanya yale mambo yanasaidia mwananchi, tu grow pamoja, so that ikifika mahali hata tukikupigia kura tunajua pia sisi mifuko yetu iko sawa na
unaona kama utaongeza bei ya mafuta ya kubeba watu.
My friend, hata si rahisi. Bei ya kubeba watu inafaa iongezeke, lakini watu wenyewe hawana pesa. Tumefanya experiment sasa kuanzia asubuhi mpaka sasa hizi. Ukiona mwenzangu hapa alikuwa amejaribu kwenda kuchukua client, lakini wamekosana kwa sababu client anataka tu ile bei, lakini ukijaribu kuangalia bei ya mafuta imekuwa double sasa juu. Tulianza hii kazi ya pikipiki, wengine wetu tulianza hii kazi ya pikipiki mafuta ikiwa 90. Sasa imeenda mpaka 200.
Okay. As you have heard it from the Boda riders, they are saying that the prices of fuel, they are going to affect them immensely, and they don't know if they will increase the prices or they will not. Ibrahim, that is all, and we'll tell you in our much later bulletins how it goes.
Well, thank you very much, Martin Mwangi from Nairobi CBD, telling us about the fuel prices. EPRA stated that will be the new prices from today to the 14th of July. That despite a court order stopping the implementation of the Finance Act 2023. And at that juncture, we now take a break here on NTV at 1 at exactly 20 minutes past 1. We shall be back with more stories when we are back. Don't go too far.
Kabla mtupe standing ovation, kabla kupata mamedal, na kabla kuvunja marekod. Story kila champion huanza na challenges. But hizi struggle watu wangu, ziwezi kutushinda. Because the winning spirit that you and I possess cannot be defeated. We may fall, but we pick ourselves up. Live by the code that it can all be done. That's why no matter where you come from, you can claim your place in history. Hiyo ndo siri ya mabingwa. Story Africanacities.
We believe you can also do the impossible. That's what we call Africanacity. Whatever your goals, join ABSA today, and together we can get things done.
Furahia maisha bora, linda jamii yako, linda biashara yako. Chukua bima leo. Tuna bima ya maisha, afya na ajali, mali hata elimu. Chukua bima leo. Linda jamii yako, linda biashara yako. Chukua bima leo. Tuna bima ya maisha, afya na ajali, mali hata elimu. Chukua bima leo.
I come from a family of 5 children, and I'm the last born in terms of boys. And I have 2 sisters who come after me. Just seeing them having to go through their period time without a pad. And so they had to resort to other means of finding pads or, of just surviving that phase. The pad center is a very special place for many young girls and women because we are the first pad center, I dare say, that any woman, regardless of your creed, your social status, or where you come from, can walk into a pad center and you'll be given a pad for free with no questions asked. And secondly, I've met a number of women who, in one way or the other, just because of a pad, they've been robbed of their dignity, and it has led to a lot of shame. Some of them in school, we know that there are girls who are staying away from school because a few weeks or a few days before they experience their periods, they'll stay away because they are avoiding accidents. And accident means that it can start without them having a pad or without them knowing.
Welcome back. You're watching NTV at 1. Now, the government says that it is relying on the cooperatives to address the serious challenges facing the country's economy. Speaking during the Ushirika Day celebrations at the KICC on Saturday, President William Ruto says cooperatives are the most potent instrument of executing the required transformation across many sectors. The president says that the government is committed to supporting the sector through institutional reform measures, including the harmonization of legislation governing various crops with the aim of reducing the cost of production, which he says will boost production and competitiveness. The president says that the reforms will target the dairy, coffee, tea, cereals, edible oils, leather, garments and textiles, mining, fishing, horticulture, as well as housing.
Tumeweka pesa katika dairy and leather kwa sababu ni ya muhimu. Tuko na watu wengi ambao katika hiyo sekta. Tumeweka pesa nyingi katika cotton and ginnery. Hiyo value chain yote ya pamba tumeweka pesa ya kutosha. Tumeweka pesa katika value chain ya chai, tumeweka pesa katika value chain ya kahawa, tumeweka pesa katika value chain ya mambo ya fisheries kwa sababu tunaamini ya kwamba hizo sekta zote zikifaulu, cooperative movement itafaulu na vile vile uchumi wa taifa letu la Kenya itafaulu.
Elsewhere, the 46th Kenya Secondary School Heads Association Kesha Conference in Mombasa County came to a close yesterday, with school heads settling on a raft of issues affecting the education sector. The annual conference kicked off on June the 27th this year to give school administrators an opportunity to reflect and exchange experiences in managing schools. Starting this month, during the conference, Education CS Ezekiel Machogu announced plans to hire 25,000 teachers to address the teacher shortage in schools, as well as changes in the mode of collection of national examination papers, stating that they will be collected twice a day instead of once a day, as has been the norm. The CS also announced an implementation model that is more equitable in distribution of funds, such as capitation. Teachers proposed an increase of capitation from 22,244 shillings to 30,000 shillings per student. Kesha chairperson Kahi Indimuli cited commodity price hike and late disbursement of funds by the state as a challenge.
Lives of the students, the thinking of the students, as I cannot see them in the house.
We now have a look at some sports stories, and Commonwealth 800 meters champion Mary Moraa and World 3000 meters steeplechase record holder Beatrice Chepkoech won their respective races at the Lausanne Diamond League on Friday night. Moraa won the 2 laps race in a season best time of 1 minute and 57.43 seconds, beating Britain's Keely Hodkinson, who finished second in a time of 1 minute and 58.37 seconds. Gul Natoya of Jamaica came in third in a time of 1 minute and 58.90 seconds. Meanwhile, Beatrice Chepkoech won the 3000 meters steeplechase in a time of 9 minutes, 5.98 seconds. Almayu Sembo of Ethiopia was second, as Uganda's Chemutai Peruth finished third.
We've seen a win so comprehensively, so control a race that well.
Well, there's 2-3 talking points there, Tim. Yes, absolutely.
Kenya concluded their outing at the second edition of the Africa Beach Games in Hammamet, Tunisia, bagging 2 medals on the final day on Friday. The duo of Faith Urasa and Shufa Rua Changawa won bronze in tennis doubles early in the afternoon, before the basketball girls added a silver later in the evening. The 2 medals took Kenya's tally in Hammamet to 5, an improvement of the first edition of the Games in 2019, when they managed just 3. In the women's 3x3 final, the Kenyan team was edged out 18-10 by Mali.
And from them we learned to play strong. So I feel like getting the silver, it means that we've improved, and it also means that we have a lot to work on.
After failing to defend the FKF Premier League title, Tusker FC is aiming to win the FKF Mozartbet Cup trophy in order to secure a spot in the CAF Confederation Cup next season. Tusker will play Kakamega Homeboys in the final at the Moi International Sports Centre, Kasarani, starting from 3 p.m. this afternoon. Tusker beat Ulinzi Stars 1-0, while Homeboys won 2-1 against AFC Leopards in the semis. The winner will not only secure a spot in the CAF Confederation Cup, but also win a Mozartbet Cup trophy and a prize money of 2 million Kenyan shillings. Currently, Ulinzi Stars are playing AFC Leopards in the third place playoff.
From day one, we play to win, and winning is about getting the trophy. So every player that feels he knows what he wants, what he expects, and how he can motivate himself to play in high level and also win the matches. And the winning matches, then you win more matches, you get what you want.
Tumekuwa na a lot of maybe activities tunafanya pamoja kwa muda mrefu, na pia ile kuongea nao kibinafsi moja kwa moja. Nadhani imeinua sana spirit ya wachezaji.
Elsewhere, Thomas Oduor of Nyanza Golf Club shot an impressive 1 under par 72 to take the lead in the NCBA Bank and Fly Skyward Express sponsored Goldfields Trophy that is ongoing at the Kakamega Sports Club. This comes after sinking 6 birdies that assured him the lead despite getting a double bogey on hole number 9. Oduor has a 4-shot lead going into the second round and is followed by Vetlab's Ebil Omolo with a 3 over par score. Joseph Gathombi, John Timbe, Eli Barno and Godfrey Nsubaga are all tied for third place. 57 players are competing in the event, which is being held for over 3 days. The event will factor for the World Amateur Golf Ranking points and I'll also contribute to the Kenya Amateur Golf Championship and Club Trophy rankings. "31 minutes past the hour, we bring to a close NTV at 1 on this first day of July 2023. Thank you very much for choosing NTV to inform you.